Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. So we're going to be doing kind of a build slash upgrade. We got a new chassis, the Kyosho MR-04 EVO2 chassis set with the 5600 kV motor. It's the wide motor mount. Here it is. And we're going to do a couple of upgrades to it. We're going to install the receiver. That will temporarily, we'll bind it to the KT531P radio. Still trying to decide what transmitter I'm going to go with, the Futaba, Sanwa, or KO Propo. So just temporary, just for the build, we're going to bind it to that transmitter. We have some full ceramic bearings we're going to replace the stock bearings with. We're going to see if these hard suspension parts will work for the EVO. I know they do work on the Ready Set cars, but I just wasn't sure if it's going to work on the EVO. If it does, then we will put them on there. Thinner, stronger bottom plate, and the suspension tabs, actuators, they're a little bit stronger and built firmer. So we'll look at replacing that. Of course, we'll be putting on our ease-lapse transponder. And if we're adventurous enough, I'm going to open up the front and put some lubrication on the servo saver. That will reduce the friction, help make the steering a little bit smoother. I have two specialty oils here that I'm going to try out for that. And then once it's all built up and ready to go, we'll pick one of the 720S bodies that I've had painted up to run with this chassis. So that's it for now. We're going to start working on getting this going. First thing we're going to do is just to make sure that I bought the right receiver. I'm going to put the receiver in to the chassis. See the little tab at the bottom here? It just goes right up onto the tab that's in the chassis. Firmly pressed down. Should be okay there. I'm going to need to put some batteries in. I like using these EBL 1100s. Good overall, you know, for practice, things like that. Nothing too crazy, but great price, and they last quite a long time and give pretty good performance. So we're going to see if we can bind this up. Not one for reading instructions, but if I remember correctly, we power on the chassis while holding the bind button, then power on the radio, and I believe the radio should find it and should get paired. Let's give it a shot. So holding down the bind button, powering it on. You can see the red light flashing. And then turn on the transmitter. And looks okay. Look at that, good to go. So turn off the chassis, turn off the transmitter, and the hard part is done. Awesome. Okay, let's move on to, probably not going to button up that top yet because I believe I'm going to have to take it off when I go in to do the servo. So let's just start working on some bearings, replacing the bearings. All right, so we just paired the transmitter to the new EVO receiver, and we know that that works. So we're going to just swap out the bearings right now. and then we'll move on to the next item on the list. So using my handy battery popper, batteries popped out. Can put these aside. Car's still in the chassis, and we can start replacing the bearings. Need to also get some aluminum wheel nuts, because these plastic ones will wear out fairly quickly, and then you're going to need to replace them. So I think that's one upgrade I need to still purchase. So you're going to use 2 bearings for each front axle. Let's put the nut back on. Go around to the other side. Put 2 more bearings on. Put the nut back on. One of the things I like about the MR-04, all the bearings are the same size. So it is a lot easier to deal with when you're shopping for the bearings. Actually, I'm going to leave that one off, because we're going to have to remove the rear axle to get to the 2 bearings that are inside the motor mount. All right, that's a spacer. Then we need the Allen key. We need the Allen key to remove the rear hub. And just for time's sake, we'll use the ones that are provided with the kit. There. Maybe it's a smaller one. So it's not the smaller one, it is the bigger one. Just couldn't get it in. Ah, there we go. Loosen it up a bit. And of course, we're dropping everything today. Let's see here. Loosen it up a little bit more. There we go. Slides off. You can see one of the bearings here. The other one is on the other side. Carefully remove this. Put this back in. It is keyed, so you won't put it the wrong way. And silly me, should have just popped out the bearing while we had it off. Really should get one of the tools to remove the bearings, because it would make things so much easier. But hey, there we go. bearing in, put it back on this side here, and then we'll pop out that side here. Just using my JS1 screwdriver to pop out the bearing, nice and easy. Put it in, put it back on the chassis. Let's put it on the right way. Believe this spacer goes on first. The bearing popped out and the carrier. Okay, so that's back in there. Mesh looks good. That's awesome. All right. Okay, so we are going to have the spacer on. We're going to tighten back up the nut to keep the axle on, get it lined up right about there. There's a flat part that you just need to tighten it back up. And we can take a nut. Okay, that side is on. Let's put this down on the side here. Did I put this? Oh, here it is. Bearing and the nut. All right, so there you go. We've replaced the bearings. We've installed the receiver. And we haven't messed up anything too badly as yet. Rest that down there. Let's put these guys back. So the EVO chassis uses 7 bearings. I bought 8 of them, just have one spare in case. and moving on to the next step. All right, so for now, we're just going to attempt to put in the hard front suspension arm set. As I had mentioned before, this will help give a little bit more consistent feel on your front suspension, keep it a little bit more planted, there's less flex in it, and therefore you should have a little bit better steering response. I've used this on the Ready Set MR-04 with the LM chassis, and everyone seems to enjoy that car when they come to the track. I use that as our demo car for people to test out and that are new to the Mini Z hobby to get a feel for it. I just put the narrow chassis bottom part in the bag. We don't need it because of course this is the wide one, as you can see here. Right here it says the W for the wide. Since we're underneath here, we may as well remove the sticker from underneath the motor. And of course it's a garbage job removing it. That's a little bit better. There we go. Just used the old number 11 X-Acto blade to clean off the rest. Later on I'll probably just hit it with some rubbing alcohol. Clean it up real nice. Awesome. We'll leave this one on because we're going to be removing it, so no need to take it off. All right, let's see here. That's one screw. Now when you remove this, you also have to make sure that you keep the steering arm in the correct position so that it stays attached to the servo, and therefore you don't have to come back in and fix that. We're also going to see maybe just removing the bottom. I can't remember if it will give me enough access to the servo, and I might still do the grease on there that I was mentioning before. If not, we'll do that for another day. We'll run it how it is, see how the steering feels. Heard mixed review on how the steering response is in this chassis. Some people love it, some people hate it. I just think it's a driving style issue versus a mechanical issue. So here it is. Yeah, they are the same for the EVO as well as the Ready Set. So we're just going to pop out these balls for the mount. We're going to reinsert them back into the harder chassis, or bottom plate. Just, there you go. Just line it up Keep it fairly straight. Put the needle on. And just a gentle push, and it will snap right in. There we go. And then since we're being very careful, we can just line up back on top of the steering. And as I had mentioned before, not to mess this up, and there I go messing it up. Okay, it's still centered. And let's go again. One of the other options we're going to do later on is the front steering knuckle. Change that to an aluminum one versus the plastic. Again, it's going to be a durability upgrade versus performance. Some people do change the degrees for the front knuckle. I normally run 0, maybe 1 degree, but we'll see. As you can see, I'm just having a little bit of difficulty doing this here. Put that one on there. Make sure both sides are on. Okay, both sides are on. And let's give this another try, keeping it firm. There, you can hear it snap in. Still have full steering movement. Everything is back in place. Now we just put the screws in where they came from. They're all the same size. I just like to keep the same screw in the same hole, just in case there's any thread anomalies. It will match back up and not tear apart the threads inside the plastic. If it was aluminum, then it wouldn't matter, but it's not. So we'll put this back in, screw it together, then we can work on the top. Check all of them, make sure they're snug. You don't need to over tighten it, it is plastic. There we go. So we've done the bearings, we've done the bottom hard suspension. Now we're just going to do these top arms here to replace it with the new hard arms. It's a matter of removing the screw from here and here, popping off the top off the ball, and then replacing each side. So again, when you do take this off, remember that you have the front spring there and it might want to take a trip without your approval. So just remember that. So I've loosened it up, taken it off. I'm going to put the new one back on. Simple as just popping it on the ball. While you're here, you can see if the ball is smooth, and if there's anything that's hindering it, I'll use my secret voodoo sauce lubricant just to gently coat the top of the ball. It will make sure that it is free. Snaps back in. Spring is there. Mount it back properly. And then you can place the screw. And again, we don't need to over tighten it, just snug it up. Make sure the spring is moving fine. There you go. Now we're going to do the other side. Again, just removing the one screw. The screw doesn't have threads all the way. It's just the last bit before the head. So you don't have to remove it completely with the screwdriver, just remove it enough to pass the threads out of the plastic. And then you're good to go. Again, just checking, make sure the ball is smooth, there's no mold lines. Putting some of our trusty lubricant on. Then we're just going to put the new, well, let's correct this before. So we pushed down too hard and popped out the ball from the rear, from the bottom. So we'll just put that back in. Snaps in. Bottom of the pin. There is a washer, a little spacer. We just make sure that that goes back. While we're here, we can press on the new hard front. Okay, nice firm snap. I heard the spacer drop. Make sure we put it back in there. Don't want to have any weird behavior on our front steering and can't figure it out and realize that we caused our own issue. All right, everything goes back in. Arm goes on. Screw goes in. Just make sure holes are lined up. Again, securing the screw. And just make sure it's snug. Again, don't over tighten it because you're going into plastic. There. And now we can check. Both the left and the right springs are in place. The hard 2.0 upper arms are in. The hard 2.0 bottom plate is in. We've got the ceramic bearings all the way around. And we have the receiver mounted. So we'll just complete this upgrade right now, put the receiver cover in. If I do change my mind and later on want to go and open up the servo to do my magic trick, we'll do that. But for now, we'll leave it as is. This should just snap down. That side is snapped. This side's in. And we're all good there. Put our grease away. We'll do one more sanity check to make sure we didn't mess anything up. Put the battery in. One thing I noticed, the battery tabs on the EVOs are silver or non-gold, or yeah, silver, whatever the metal is. If they do have an upgrade for that, I might change that to the gold ones. I think there's a better conductivity, but we'll just leave that for now. So we'll turn on the transmitter. Okay, transmitter is on. Turn on the car. And we have steering, throttle, reverse and brake. All good. So that's it for today. Thank you everyone for tuning in. Sorry for the little bit lengthy video. I'm notorious for just doing raw, uncut, unedited videos. I don't like to hide anything from anyone and use the camera magic to make everything look all pretty. I'm a realist, and people experience issues when they're building things. Sometimes they make mistakes. We're not fans of using manuals a lot of the time, and we wing it. So I bring you all on for the journey. Remove the batteries, put the battery mount or battery compartment covers on. Just move these to the side. Yeah, so now we need to figure out which of the bodies we're going to run. Got the two options here, the green and yellow or the orange, red, and yellow version. And once we run those, we'll figure out which tire compounds, and we'll mount up some wheels. Let's mount up some tires to the wheels and then mount the chassis on, and we'll be good from there. So thanks everyone. Have a good day. Remember to like, subscribe, and share. And thanks for watching our video. Heavy hitters out.